I'm doing a bit of secondary research. Well, the method I'm using is just looking for examples of magazine-style radio, and I'm using the current edition of the Radio Times to help me. If I were to go into, say, W.H. Smith's and look for magazines, I'd find rows and rows and rows of them. Finding a magazine-style radio show isn't so easy. I think I may have found 2 or 3 of them. I've got one here called The World Tonight. It looks like it could have a variety of topics in them. There's another one called Woman's Hour. I'm going to record that as an example. But most of the programs, even though the topics change from week to week, like You and Yours or Feedback, these are programs which just have one topic in them one week and a different topic in them the next week. So there might be like a magazine series, but there's hardly an example of a magazine program, let's say a single edition that has several topics in it, which is the kind of genre radio that we are going to be producing. So so much for the explanation. I'm now going to just show you a little bit of a video which highlights the codes and conventions of this type of genre. So let's get to it.
It's 10 o'clock. Good evening. This is The World Tonight with Rithula Shah. The police watchdog says there's evidence that 3 officers gave a false account of a meeting with the former Conservative Cabinet Minister Andrew Mitchell to try to discredit him after he'd had an altercation with other officers in Downing Street. There's criticism of the police from a former Home Secretary who's also a friend of Mr Mitchell.
What this shows is a poverty of leadership and a readiness by them to resort to completely inappropriate behaviour.
An aid agency warns that besieged Syrians may be starving.
Today there was a fatwa, an edict allowing for people to eat cats and dogs. I mean, this is the kind of exceptional situation that people are having to deal with.
We hear from Portugal on Budget Day as the government unveils yet more austerity measures.
We don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And the feeling is that the tunnel is keeping to be extended.
And New Zealand author Eleanor Catton has become the youngest writer to win the Man Booker Prize for Fiction. That's all after the BBC News from Jim Lee.
The Home Secretary, Theresa May, has said the police should reconsider the decision not to take disciplinary action against 3 officers accused of lying.
And now it's time for Weekend Woman's Hour with Jane Garvey.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Weekend Woman's Hour. Great programme lined up this afternoon. Cher meets Jenny Murray in a moment. The actress Patsy Kensit on acting alongside Elizabeth Taylor, who let her play with her priceless diamond ring.
But she'd get the ring and she'd take it off and she'd say, "Catch!" Patsy, and she'd throw the ring. And my mum would be going, "Oh my God," because my teeth fell out during the filming. So I had these false teeth made, which I kept losing. So she thought, she can't keep hold of the bloody teeth if that diamond goes somewhere. But that was the wonderful thing about Elizabeth. She was so playful.
More from Patsy Kensit later in the programme. You can also hear the Somali supermodel Waris Deary on fleeing a forced marriage to a much older man.
It was do or die. I seriously knew that my freedom and my right, that I have to, even if it kills me, I've got to go for it. I will die for that, because I will die trying it.
Waris Deary. And you can also hear from Gloria De Piero this afternoon. She's the new Shadow Minister for Women and Equalities. Well, you can save the best for last, or you can ship it out early. And this week's celebrity highlight, undeniably, was the meeting between Jenny and Cher.